Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Hello friends, and welcome to Fairfield Today. Paul Jasson with you. Thank you for joining us. We are downtown in Lancaster on kind of an overcast and cloudy day here, but still beautiful for this time of year, and we're glad you're with us. We are in the lobby, of course, of Fairfield Federal downtown, where behind us everything kind of happens coming up here before long with the bandstand, with the Friday nights that Fairfield Federal, of course, sponsors that, and then festival's not too far down the road here, so we've got a busy time coming. We're kind of right in the mix of it all right here. Thank you for joining us. A couple of interesting pieces on today's show, we think. One of the, I guess, things that you can think really indicates it's springtime, summertime is the Old Car Club. They got their big outing coming up here. We'll talk about that the second half of the show. But the first half, we're going to talk about something I think a little bit new for us to talk about today. Just new for us, and not new for our guest who's going to be hosting, is Tammy Drobina. Tammy, welcome.
Thank you, Paul. Good to be here.
Good to be here. I think first time we had on you, I would call you Mayor Drobina.
Probably.
Way back when. I think about when the bypass was kind of everything going through up there, and everything was really changing rapidly.
Well, there were a lot of changes
for Carroll,
yes.
And there was, it ain't your mom's Carroll anymore, you know, when you used to drive into Carroll. It's changed a little bit. It's still Carroll, I get that.
It's still Carroll in the heart of it, but the traffic pattern has changed, and thankfully so.
Oh, I think it's much better. Would you say it's all worked out well?
I think it has, yes. We don't have near the backup at rush hour like we used to,
Well,
and no accidents.
That was a nightmare.
It was.
Yeah, so very well, and she just happened to be the mayor while all this was going on, so she had her hands full then, and as if Tammy couldn't get enough irons in the fire, which I don't think she can. I think she always has to have something going on. The latest one, at least from our standpoint here at Fairfield Today, is Carroll Heritage Day. That's coming up in just a week or so, June 7th, at the Carroll Civic Center, right there in Canal Street, right downtown. And it's celebrating 20 years of the Carroll Area Historical Society. And from what I understand, you were kind of the input to get that going 20 years ago.
I was. I'm very proud to be the founder of this.
What was your thinking? In 20 years now, it looks like, well, what a great call. But back then, you don't have as much to go on. What was your thinking that you needed this kind of place in Carroll?
Well, as someone who's interested in history, and so many other people are as well, we just need some kind of a group to preserve and promote the history of Carroll, and we didn't have that at the time. And so I just thought it would be a good idea to see if we could get this started, and it's been great. Our members are just excellent. I mean, they're so nice. It's the nicest group I think I've ever been associated with. And they come when we have our monthly meetings, and guests are always welcome. But we all come to learn something and to hear about history. We have local, for just Carroll specific things, but we also have state and national, historical topics. So it's been very interesting, and we've learned quite a bit, and we've made some great friendships through the years.
So when you look back, when you started this, did you really think there's enough to make this go? There's enough history here in Carroll. We can make a go of this to be an important time in Carroll history.
Absolutely. Carroll has a lot of history, as every town does, but it's just been a lot of fun learning it and sharing it with others.
Well, you've got a big celebration again. It's coming up on June 7th. Is that a Saturday, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Saturday. And it's at the Civic Center downtown. 20-year history. And we'll talk about some of the things you've got going on, but you'll have the place open. It'll be open to the public then. And I'm gathering all the books will be open, all the pictures will be on display. Probably never a better opportunity to learn about Carroll than that day.
Yes. Well, we won't have all the pictures, but we'll have a lot of them.
No building's big enough for that, but
right.
You'll have a lot on display.
We will. We will have some old pictures. I'm planning on having like about 300 pictures on a loop with the projector that we were able to buy with money from the Fairfield County Foundation. And so we'll have those photos on loop. We have some actual photo displays and some actual items on display of historical nature. This is at the old firehouse. So people that might be familiar with Carroll a little bit, or maybe if you're not, it's at the corner of Center, or rather Canal and Beaver Streets. It's the old firehouse. You can't miss it. And that will be open in the afternoon from 12:30 to 4. And we are going to have a food truck there. That's from DQ. And they are coming at 11. So from 11 to 4, there'll be a food truck, and they are serving ox roast sandwiches, which are the beef sandwiches. Yes, because the Carroll had the Ox Roast Festival for many, many years, and people really remember the ox roast sandwiches. I remember them from when I was little. They were delicious. And so we wanted to bring that back, kind of make a nod to that old time period. And so DQ has very graciously agreed to have ox roast sandwiches for us, and sides and other sandwiches. So the food truck will be there 11 to 4. People can come in and carry out. The building will be open at 12:30. We're going to have a private luncheon for members and some guests at 11:30. And then at 12:30, we're going to open it up to everybody. We'll have a cake that we're going to cut for celebration. And then the programs start at 1.
And you are a Carroll native, so you were born there, raised there. Were your parents, did they instill in you this sense of history because of the things you've done, other than, and maybe we could include being the mayor too, but I've always had working with the Georgian and all the things down here you've done, have always had a sense of history to them, and it's always obvious that plays a very important time in your life. But have you always been this history person your whole life, and did you get that from your parents?
Yes, my mother actually wrote a history of Carroll. About 10 years ago, she wrote a book, and it took her years to research everything, but it's a phenomenal book. It has so much history in it, and old photos, and just an amazing resource, because she wanted to have something like this too. And my grandparents were big history of her parents.
Were they Carroll people too?
Yes, Jay and Bessie Benson. They were big history people too. So I get it naturally.
Well, you've just carried that on, and I know they all would be so proud just to see that the little town of Carroll has this nice connection with history. And so often you see things where you notice maybe with your own family where, oh, I should have written that down when Dad was talking about that. I'll get it somewhere. Now, all of a sudden it's gone, and when it's gone, it's gone.
Exactly.
And so you, with this book, with things like that, you've been able to keep this things alive.
Yes, and that's exactly the impetus to start the Historical Society, because we knew, all these people, once they're gone, we don't know what has happened that they could share. And as part of our Heritage Day, we are inviting anyone in the community who would like to share a story or two with us to come in. We'll have a separate area set up with a video, so we can record people with their memories.
Boy, that'll be invaluable.
Oh, it will. And a few of them have already shared their memories with me, and they were just, some of them are hilarious, and some of them just like put some things in perspective, or maybe answer a couple questions that you had about something that you knew. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I hope a lot of people do that.
So our guest is Tammy Drobina. Tammy is the, I don't know what your title would be now.
Right now.
President right now, founder of the Carroll Heritage Day and the actual Heritage Historical Society 20 years ago. She was in on that, and obvious that this history is going to be saved and cataloged, and it'll always be there. And I guess that's the important thing, that somebody like you, we're all not going to be here forever, and there'll be a time when we won't be around. So I think it's important, and I think from your perspective, knowing what history means to you, that these kind of facts and figures and stories, some hilarious, some serious, will be around for generations.
Yes, it's very important to share this history with other people and future generations.
It's just great stuff you're doing here, and it's pretty cool. And again, it's Saturday, June 7th, 20 years of the Carroll Area Historical Society. 11 to 4, you got a busy 5 hours going on there, huh?
Well, we do.
Starting out with, again, DQ, the food truck arrives with the beef sandwiches. They'll have those at 11. A private luncheon open to the public then at that point. People can come and go. I guess it's just open, just walk in, look as long as you want, and move on.
Exactly, from 12:30 to 4, come in, and that's if you want to buy some food from the food truck, come inside, sit down and eat it while you're enjoying our programs. We certainly would encourage that as well. So we have a program starting at 1. Every half hour we'll have a different program until 3 o'clock, and then that's when our keynote speaker will be Jack Campbell of the Fairfield County Parks, and he is going to portray George Benedum, who was a well-known lock tender in Lockville and had Carroll connections as well. So
Jack's pretty good at that kind of stuff.
He's excellent. We've had him at a couple meetings, and he just does a wonderful job. So he is going to be costumed in character, and it's going to be very, very good.
Well, it'll be exciting. Now tell me, at 2:30 there'll be a very special program. It's going to be Carroll After Dark. I think we can talk about it here. I think it's okay to talk about. Tell me, you're going to be there for a half hour, and Ms. Drobina will be the hostess for this right here, Carroll After Dark. What kind of things can we expect in your time?
Oh, okay. Well, my talk is supposed to be amusing about some things that maybe you don't really hear about. It's not big history. It's just things maybe that happened in the evenings.
Mm-hmm.
But when you hear Carroll After Dark, you think,
Could be anything here. I mean, can we go there? I don't know. But knowing you, I'm sure we can. So you're just going to just recite some things that maybe people don't know?
Yeah, different things that happened during the daytime too as well, but a lot of things, that nighttime activities that they had, and like the first coal oil lamp, and when electric came to town, and things like that, what happened. So
these are big moments. I see my friend Andy Rogers going to be there talking about the Civil War. He's a member of the Civil War contingent. He's going to be on prior to you, and Andy, he's all about the Civil War. He loves that. Yes,
he's going to do an excellent job too. And they're going to actually have a display table set up of Civil War items. So
they do good work.
They do.
And then it'll begin with art and symbolism in Carroll cemeteries. That's always pretty interesting stuff there.
Yes, and Beth Santor is a speaker, and she's going to focus on just Carroll Cemetery and Betzer Cemetery, and some of the carvings on the headstones, and what they mean, and just the different artistic things that they had on the headstones that you don't always see anymore, and what they mean. So
now both those cemeteries are still open?
Yes.
I mean, you can still, yes. I know they're across the street kind of from each other, as I remember.
One's on Carroll Cemetery Road,
yeah.
And then the other one is on Pickerington Road.
Okay. And but good cemeteries, lots of interesting history there. When you go in and look at some of the headstones, that'll probably be what some of them talk about, why some of them are like they are.
Probably.
Significance of that, yeah. And then finish it up with Jack Campbell doing his George Benedum lock tender role there at 3 o'clock, and then be there till 4 o'clock. And I know you got a lot of people who put this on, the Lions Club, Carroll Cup, Coffee House, Lithopolis Honey Fest, Shirky's Pizza, Connie and Craig Pierce, Paul and Sue Deem, Gilmore Group Realty. A lot of people kind of make this possible.
Those are our financial sponsors who, we absolutely want to thank them for doing that, and it helps us, be able to present this. And we missed speaking about Chief Brad Smith of the fire department.
Oh yeah, he's going to be on. He's on at 1:30.
Yeah, the Greenfield Township Fire Department history, so that'll be good too. And we're having it in the old firehouse, so what could be more
very
appropriate?
Significant for that. So again, it's coming up on not this Saturday, but Saturday, June 7th, celebrating 20 years of the Carroll Area Historical Society. So you won't be doing this again very soon.
Probably not.
No, but
maybe another 20 years.
Well, and I know you'll be around to do it then. It's downtown at the old firehouse. Going to start it out with a food truck at 11 o'clock, going to go through 4 o'clock, displays, and everything's online. Can they find all this information online?
Yes, we're on Facebook. Just look up Carroll Area Historical Society, and you'll be able to find more information.
Social media is such an asset during these times. Money's an issue, so there's something you can always look up and find out. It's going to be a fun day. You ready for this?
So.
Have you geared up for it?
Yes, we had a committee, and then we've been working on that for a few months. So
I bet it's been a while coming to this point. It just didn't happen.
No, there's always some work involved in any event, but once it happens and you're there and things are going well and everybody enjoys themselves, that's more than payment enough.
Carroll Heritage Day, June 7th. Gosh, it's going to be a fun time. We hope for a beautiful day. This would be perfect. a nice day, not a lot of sun beating down. People can enjoy the walk around and enjoy
indoors.
Carroll. But they could walk around downtown
Absolutely.
Carroll and see the significance of that, and it's going to be a fun day. Thanks for kind of keeping all this going. I've always enjoyed our chats together, and the things you do are significant, and I think this is one of those. Carroll Heritage Day coming up June 7th. Have a great time.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate it.
Tammy Drobina, who 20 years ago kind of got this whole shooting match going, and here we are celebrating the anniversary. So we thank you for everything you've done. Thank you. We'll be back in just a moment on Fairfield Today.
If you've been thinking about getting a home loan, now is the time. Hi, this is Carrie James from Fairfield Federal. Our experienced lenders are here to help you make your vision a reality. For more than 125 years, we've been helping our community achieve homeownership. Fairfield Federal has convenient online application for your home loan, home equity loan, and home equity line of credit needs. Visit fairfieldfederal.com to get started. Fairfield Federal for checking, savings, and home loans. Data charges may apply, subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 402612.
The reason why I do what I do is I love helping people, and I really love to work on understanding and striving to improve the lives of the people in our community. Being in Fairfield County is having a network of people around you.
I am driven by my belief that every individual deserves an opportunity to achieve mental and emotional balance, and I'm very passionate about contributing to that process.
Community, connections, collaboration. The Fairfield County Way.
What makes Fairhope what it is our staff. It's always a question that we ask, why do you want to be here with us? And what they most always say is, you've touched my life this way. You know, you took care of this person, or I've seen what you've done and I want to do that. And so the staff that have been here know what it takes. They've been on the other side. They see what it takes to make someone comfortable, to make the family comfortable, and really what kind of support they need. And so I think that's what really makes Fairhope what it is.
Fairfield Medical Center is more than a hospital. We're a health system that's been putting people first for more than a century. From the youngest patients to the eldest, our compassionate team of caregivers are here to support you through every season of life. We are healers, cheerleaders, patient advocates, and champions. Your health is our greatest accomplishment, and we are proud to serve you. Whatever you're searching for, you can find it at Fairfield Medical Center.
Did you know Fairfield DD provides coordination for over 1,200 people in Fairfield County? That's 1,200 unique journeys, each filled with talents, dreams, and challenges. And while no two paths are the same, one thing is true for everyone. Life is easier when you have the right support. That's why we're here. From early childhood milestones to school transitions, employment, and adulthood, Fairfield DD connects individuals and families with the resources they need every step of the way. When the right support is available, a vibrant community where people lead lives of greater independence and make meaningful contributions becomes possible. Learn more at fairfielddd.com and check us out on social media. Together, we're building a more inclusive Fairfield County.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome back to Fairfield Today. We sure want to thank Tammy Drobina coming in, talking about their big historical day coming up here in a week or two. And oddly enough, when you get to this time of the year, it seems like there are a lot of little community festivals, say like Carroll's having their historical one. There's things going on in multiples, 1, 2, 3 times every week. Certainly every weekend is busy, and this turns out to be one of those weekends. The same weekend that she's having the Historical Society 20th anniversary up in Carroll. here in Lancaster, one of the really major events, I think, to occur in town is the Old Car Club and their festival at the Fairfield County Fairgrounds. Is the 7th and 8th. It's that same Saturday as Carroll, and on Sunday. We've got the president of the Lancaster Old Car Club, Brian Courtright, with us. Brian, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be back again this year.
Well, it's great to have you back, and I think we were talking a little bit before we came on. I think this is the 61st annual Lancaster Old Car Club show.
Yes, that
which
is
correct. Remarkable. I don't know how long these are in Ohio, but I'd say I'd have to guess this is one of the ones with a bigger history.
Yes, actually, I'm glad you brought that up because we are one of the longest running and currently active car clubs in the state of Ohio. We've been going strong since 1957.
And by going strong, we'll talk about that, what that means, but strong is the operative word here. I mean, you go by that place on, especially Saturday. I mean, Sunday's always packed too. But if you drive by there on a Saturday, whether it's on Fair Avenue or even if it's on High Street there on the other angle, it looks like the fair's going on. I mean, there are so many people, there's so many events going on. The parking lot is full there in the back. I mean, this is, I guess you couldn't be more happy with how things turn out for this.
No, and it's a great attraction. It brings a lot of attention to Lancaster and Fairfield County. We have cruisers this year that are coming from Indiana, Michigan. We also have a couple people coming from the Cleveland area that have already pre-registered for our show. So it brings a lot of different people from across the Midwest and puts a lot of focus on Lancaster. It's a great opportunity.
Well, there's no doubt that this old cars and old car clubs are the place to be for as long as I can remember, because when I think about the different types of cars you have down there, everything from street rods to just beautiful, the really old cars that you'll have there that are restored, and the new cars, I mean, there's probably not a category you don't have represented.
Correct. We have everything from a Model T, Model A, clear up to a 2022 F1 McLaren. So you're talking about a gauntlet of cars.
That's pretty wide.
It's a fascinating show. If you're a car enthusiast, I highly recommend it.
So you can still get in on this if somebody still wanted to get registered for a car. They can still do that?
Yes, our online, our registration is still open for another 5 days.
Okay.
But if you are not able to do that, you can just register Saturday, the day of our show, and come on in and enjoy some time with us.
And as I remember last year, I don't know if that was one of the bigger years, I'm going to guess it was, I think you had somewhere upwards of 400 cars at the fairgrounds.
Yes.
That seems like a lot.
Yes, and we had 400 cars at the show, plus we had the Antique Tractor Club there as part of the show.
That's always a great addition.
Oh, everybody loves the hit and miss engines and all that stuff. But the other thing is that we were so tight on space that we actually had to have the cars park a little closer.
I bet they love that.
Yes. Car people are very sensitive to how close you park somebody next to you. So, but that's understandable because some of these people put a lot of money, time, and effort into these cars, and some of it is a work of art. I mean, it's beautiful.
So so the days are Saturday the 7th and Sunday the 8th, and Saturday it's 8 to 5 down at the fairgrounds, and then Sunday 8 to 4, almost the same hours. But you've got a lot of things going on that are family oriented to try to, once you come in, you can spend the whole day there, spend several hours there.
Yes, so we have about 10 different food vendors. So everything from hamburgers to shrimp to pizza, corn dogs, you name it, you can find it there to eat. But we have a swap meet, we have craft vendors there, we have the Antique Tractor Club's going to bring a hayride basketball hoop.
Doug Shaw and that group, they always do such a great job.
Yes, I really appreciate Doug, and he's instrumental in bringing us back together. We might even be having a coin dig to where we're going to hide coins in sawdust and the kids can dig for quarters and nickels and stuff. So there really is something for everybody. So Mom can go to the craft show and Dad can look at the cool cars and the kids can dig for coins. So
What's your car? Is it a Pontiac?
Yes, I have a 1977 Pontiac Grand Prix, and it has 20,000 original miles.
So you walk the walk here when we're talking about old car club. So you get it, you understand it. Well, what do you think it is about something that's endeared your club for 60 years? It's allowed it to grow and be as successful as it is. I mean, this feeling that we have for old cars and the history of cars, whether it's a Corvette or Mustangs or Buicks or anything that go on throughout the years. I mean, it's very mystical to me. People just love old cars and talking about them. I wish I hadn't sold that. I wish I still had my original Pontiac, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's just almost magical the way people think about this.
Yes, it takes you back. It's nostalgic. And an example of this is I was talking to a gentleman the other day. He had a 76 Pontiac Grand Prix, similar to mine. And he said when he went to college in California, he pulled a Airstream travel trailer with his Pontiac Grand Prix all the way out to California. And he talked about it, and you have people that are like, you know, my dad drove a Studebaker when I was a kid, or my people will talk about how they used to go get ice cream in their grandfather's car.
Big old land
yes.
yacht. Yes. Yeah.
And some of those back seats seem like they were like 20 feet wide, and when you're a little kid, and it's just reliving those great memories.
And some of it you remember if you're around cars like your car would be, that old Pontiac. When you slam the door, you can hear the metal hit, and it's just a completely different sound from what you hear today.
Yes, that door is about 4 foot long.
Well, it's amazing to me. And Brian, show us some of the posters you got. Now you got some nice things here that some of the things we'll be able to see if we go.
Yes. So this is our car show flyer that we got for this year's show, and talks about all the different things we got going on.
Okay.
And then right here, this is going to be the dash plaque that all registered cars get. We're going to have about 300 of these available to registered cars. And then new this
pretty
year.
Hot looking here.
Oh yeah. And then this year we're going to do a cruise after the show. So at 5 o'clock after the show closes down on Saturday, we're all going to parade around town. And anybody that participates in this, the first 100 cars, will be able to get one of these dash plaques, and we'll cruise around town. So you'll get to see the cars sitting still, then you'll get to see them going around the town.
Good on your club for keeping this going, because I think it's, to me, it looks as successful now as it did 40 years ago, and I used to watch it at the fairgrounds, drive by it. But it's almost a must-see time to go there, and you've always got different cars. Some of the cars you have there every year, people love to bring them back. But like you say, there's always something new, something that maybe you haven't seen before.
Yes, and we've got everything this year. This year's feature car is orphans. So if you have an orphan car and you're looking for a home.
Tell me the definition of an orphan car.
An orphan car is a car manufacturer that is no longer in existence.
Okay.
So you could bring anything.
Like a Studebaker?
A DeSoto,
Okay.
a Pontiac, an Oldsmobile, a Kaiser, a Henry. That's just to name a few. There was at one point there was like 3,800 different car manufacturers, and since the automobile has come along, so a lot of these car companies are no longer around, and it gives you an opportunity to bring in a historical vehicle that has no association, and somebody else might not have seen it before.
And and again, it's just remarkable. And what version of a Pontiac is yours? A
Pontiac Grand Prix.
But you think even if you just think about Pontiacs, you can go to GTOs, you can go to the Grand Prix. I mean, my first car was a 1951 Pontiac, an old one.
Yeah.
Had a Power Glide transmission. It had some kind of name to it like that. But I mean, people just have this affinity for old cars, and as long as they got that, I think you're going to be successful.
Yes, absolutely. And the other thing is the Old Car Club is big into giving back to the community. So what we do with some of the proceeds throughout the year is we give to local food banks, Salvation Army, and other different organizations within the Lancaster community to make sure that we're also giving back to help improve our community.
So 60 years, the Lancaster Old Car Club, they got theirs coming up Saturday, June 7th, Sunday, June 8th, coming up here pretty quick. Tell me a little bit about your actual Old Car Club. How many members do you have running these days?
We have 72 members currently, and our youngest member is 6 months old, and our oldest member is 94. So one of our newest members, they just gave birth to a little girl earlier last year. So they got a Lancaster Old Car Club onesie made up for her. So she's an official member.
Makes you know it will carry it on for a while.
Yes, so like I said, there's so much history also with our club.
Well, it's always such a great day down there. It's just so many things you've got going on. Like you say, if you just go, the whole family has moments where they can travel around, and mom can do this, or she can, if dad isn't, that maybe some dads aren't interested. I'm sure there's a lot of women who own cars that bring them down there to this moment.
Yes, we have a lot of women that are more into cars than some men, and they can tear an engine down and rebuild them, and they're probably, I'm going to say this, they probably have more attention to detail occasionally.
And just a final question here. If you could have any car that you ever owned back, and it can't be your Pontiac, do you have another car that if you had an opportunity to not have gotten rid of it, you would?
Yes, 1986 Chevy Square Body K20. It was, I wish I had that one back.
And I'm sure everybody in your club has that moment in their life where if I just had that one car.
Yes, absolutely.
And some of them I'm sure have gone out and restored cars because that's always been what I wanted. I always wanted a 55 Crown Vic, so I went out and got one. I restored it, and if I look at Crown Vic and some of these Mopars, I mean, cars don't, in 50 years they're not going to be talking about Teslas that are sitting around. They're going to be talking about Crown Vics and Mopars and Grand Prix. They're going to be those will be the cars we'll want to see.
Absolutely.
Well, congratulations on the Old Car Club for what you do. It's just one of the great moments. It brings back a lot of the community. You share back a lot with the community. Yes. So as President Brian Courtright with the Old Car Club, thanks for what you do. It's a fun event down there, and I just hope for a beautiful day down there like that for 2 days of nice weather. Carroll can have their nice festival. You can have the nice one here Saturday and Sunday, 7th and 8th. Good luck.
Thank you, Paul. It's great to be here.
Sure. Brian Courtright with the Lancaster Old Car Club, June 6th and 7th down at the Lancaster Fairgrounds. Thanks for joining us on Fairfield Today.
Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.